You may have seen some people in the gym use bands on certain areas of the limbs to restrict blood flow and work with smaller weight loads during training. This is done in order to increase strength and achieve muscle hypertrophy. The Katsu technique, which is Japanese for extra pressure, uses pneumatic bands that are placed on either the arms or legs, but not both. These bands are inflated and deflated on a regular basis via a monitor. They operate in programmed cycles, and while the bands are inflated for 30 seconds, you will perform repetitions corresponding to one of 8 exercises. The bands then automatically deflate, allowing you to rest for 5 seconds and then inflate again to continue with the next exercise. The great thing about this technique is that you can increase strength and muscle mass using only a fraction of the weight you would need for conventional strength training, and the results start to show in half the time. Believe me, it took me a little while to understand that the Katsu technique that requires these inflatable pneumatic bands could, using very light weights, develop and strengthen the muscles of the whole body, not just the limbs where the bands are worn. It has been proven that this technique can bring about an increase in muscle strength of 40% in just 12 weeks of training. This is using the bands about 3 times a week, but this also depends on your health and the load used, of course. What happens in your body when you apply this technique? The restriction of blood flow allows many myokines to be activated, which are anti-inflammatory molecules secreted by skeletal muscle cells as a result of physical activity. Muscle contraction releases myokines into the circulatory system and thus stimulates metabolic processes, such as fat oxidation and glucose uptake by cells, among others. It has been shown that skeletal muscle has the capacity to express several myokines, such as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, as well as interleukins, such as interleukin-6. For example, brain-derived neurotrophic factor helps regulate the survival, growth, and maintenance of neurons. Interleukin-6 is released from muscle fibers during muscle contraction and plays a very important role in the body's fat metabolism. Leukemia inhibitory factor, or LIF, is produced by contracting the muscle and generates proliferation of myoblasts, or muscle fiber precursor cells. Recent studies suggest that LIF may also promote the proliferation of satellite cells that are crucial for muscle growth, maintenance, and regeneration. At the endocrine level, several hormones, such as growth hormone, are activated by creating an environment of metabolites, or chemicals that appear in response to exercise. And here is how. The body releases more lactate due to reduced blood flow from the pressure of the inflated bands. The brain then sends signals to the body that a tremendous physical effort is being made, which causes an increase in human growth hormone. Another hormone is noradrenaline, which helps you keep your blood pressure under control in times of stress. It affects your circadian rhythms, your memory, and your mood. Renin, which is an enzyme that helps control blood pressure and maintain healthy levels of sodium and potassium in the body at the cellular level. These are just a few examples of the many bodily responses that occur when Katsu is applied. In fact, Katsu bands have been applied as part of physiotherapy protocol in Japan since 1973, and their use ranges from rehabilitation through training, recovery, to conventional exercise routines or simple wellness. Also, for people who have lost muscle mass as a result of injury, long periods of immobility, or aging. The use of Katsu blood flow restriction bands allow these people to regain their physical function in a fraction of the time it would normally take to fully recover. But the science of these blood flow restriction bands goes even further, as it can even be applied to patients on rehab following a stroke or injury affecting one side of the body. Katsu can be applied to the side of the body that has been injured, and movements can be made with the corresponding limbs. Movements can range from brushing hair to bringing cutlery to the mouth to mimicking that of eating food, concentrating on the movement and technique of the muscle or muscles involved. As a bonus, the Katsu technique eliminates the need for recovery days because post-workout soreness with the bands is non-existent. And because the weights you work with are so light, there is virtually no risk of injury. You can use the bands every day or as many days as you like and train with 30% of your maximum 1 rep weight. This is enough to keep you in great shape. In the content box of this video, I leave the link to my full article with much more information about this technique that I consider revolutionary. Also, if you're interested, I leave the link to the Katsu website, where sales points all over the world are listed. If you like this video, please click on the like icon. Remember to subscribe on the red button and turn on the little bell to receive notifications every time there is something new to learn in nature's way in the art to heal yourself. See you soon!